ESPN announcer I think he's on SportsCenter doing the highlight read.
They're cutting from a woman's. It's the end of a WNBA highlight.
Yeah.
Winners, it's their fourth straight win. Let's get back to the actual basketball there in Ann Arbor.
Keely, we're not laughing at this. We're not laughing at this.
I'm laughing at this. They're going from a WNBA high, or is it college hoops?
I think it's college.
Yeah. Women's college hoops to a men's college hoops highlight. And the segue is crazy. Andrew, put the volume up again. I want to play it again.
66-61 winners. It's their fourth straight win. Let's get back to the actual basketball there in Ann Arbor.
The actual basketball. Let's get back to the actual basketball.
I don't know what.
For those tuning out a little bit here, we're going to get back to actual basketball. You could come on back from the bathroom, and we're going to get back to the actual basketball.
No one's saying like women's basketball is not entertaining or women's basketball is not. It's like the country is saying we don't like it as much.
The market.
Not anyone.
Right.
Like here's women's basketball, here's men's basketball. Like my sister works for the SEC and the tournament is here.
Yep.
Okay. And it's like the women's, they're both at Bridgestone. There's going to be the lower bowl sparsely populated for the women, and the basketball, the first round sold out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what the same with the Asbury conference. It's like, just admit, this is what literally all a comedian does.
Mm-hmm.
It's just saying, look at the reality. That's it.
Yep.
And when you say, hey, I like to go, like, just it's ignoring of facts. And then that guy says something, honestly, let's get back to basketball.
Yeah.
And then everybody loses their mind.
Yeah. You can't do that. That's bad.
Also agreed.
Like, hey, you can't do that.
I say at my show, I go, there's no such thing as a bad joke. There's bad audience. Right? So like sometimes that's funny. The audience was you in your head. That was the only person that's funny for.
So like you're saying, somebody will always find There's always somebody
and even
who
if it's
will.
only you.
Yeah.
You're like, you chuckle to yourself.
You're like, I think it's funny.
That's the audience.
Okay.
So if you go, if you're at Buffalo Wild Wings and you've watched 6 minutes of women's basketball highlights, and then it goes to men's basketball, and you look over at your buddies and you go, let's get back to the real game. Like, great joke.
Yeah.
That is a great joke there.
Yeah.
If you work for ESPN. Yeah. And that's what not a bad joke.
Uh-huh.
Not a bad, very bad to say it there.
Yeah, dude.
You can't.
Bad stage,
and
man. Wrong stage.
Yeah, and you're wrong stage.
Yeah.
And you might get fired for that, and you probably should.
Sure.
But it's not like, I don't even compare it, but like when I was in rehab, like they go, hey, you're not a bad person. He goes, this is take a serious turn very quick, but it goes, you made some poor choices.
There you go.
But you as a fundamental human being you're a good man. And you might have made a poor judgment call, poor decision, but you are not bad.
Yep.
And that's what cancellation is saying you are bad.
Yeah.
Like everybody that they want to, cancellation is in essence bringing shame upon a person. For this women's group wants to bring shame on Tiger. Like maybe was it not like if you're playing with Justin Rose, like, but again, if you're playing with Justin Rose in the practice round, there's no TV cameras. It's not that funny. It's funny because he did it on the telecast.
Right.
That's why it's funny.
Right.
It's a risk.
Yes.
It's a more of a risky joke.
Yes.
So, and that's what all like, yeah.
Well, and that said, let's give the guy.
Oh, does he have a quote?
Doubt. Randy Scott is the anchor who said this, and he says he offered a clarification. We did a voiceover of the moment of silence in Ann Arbor, then the women's basketball highlight, then said let's get back to the actual basketball in Ann Arbor, then the men's highlight. So again, this is like the other week when we were talking about the guy with the monkey story where the graphics team is screwing him.
Oh, he messed it up.
It sounds like he's getting screwed by production here too.
Oh yeah, well, because he didn't get fired,
Right.
And because I wanted to do research on this. They're like, did he get fired or did he get? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
I go, oh,
Yeah.
So
he's a vet.
he would have been fired immediately
Mhm.
for doing this purposefully,
Right.
So
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
It's so disrespectful.
It's a wild thing to say.
It's incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah, but I didn't. I looked his name up, and I didn't see anything about him getting fired or there was nothing.
Yeah.
So I go, yeah,
Good.
that makes more sense.
We're all good.
Yeah, we're all good.
We're all going to be okay.
But I thought what you were about to read was an apology from him.
No.
You know,
Clarification.
Because all right, the Tiger Woods thing. Have we talked about it on this podcast that this is even not even 100% honest because we still have advertisers.
Yes, we've got.
It's percentage wise, it's more honest than network television.
For sure.
There's so many.
Way more.
Any show that gets on network television has so many people in suits going, nope,
Yep,
that's going to be offensive. No, all out, right? And we are a podcast. You start with, and you in your basement, no advertisers, no nothing. It's people saying out of pocket things. Then you're like, well, we don't want to be off YouTube or off Spotify for saying something. So we want to.
You got to play the game a little bit.
A little.
Yep.
Now, authenticity wise, this I would imagine, I would venture to say this probably, well, even I'm not completely honest about some things in my personal life, but that's not dishonest. This is nobody's information.
Mm-hmm.
95, 96, 97% authenticity here.
Yeah.
We do have advertisers, and there's every now and then there's something that I've said to you privately that I go, I don't want to put that on the pod.
Yep.
Every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Woods is, first of all, is the only person on tour that could do this. Because the Live Tour offered him $1 billion to come to their tour.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Woods is above.
He's bigger than golf.
He's like the Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He's a Joe Rogan of golf.
Yeah.
He can say it. He can do that.
Yeah.
Anyone else, if Justin Thomas does this joke to Tiger, he's losing all his ads.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger doesn't like. If we lost an advertiser, I wouldn't care that much.
Well, I mean, we've said no.
We
to
have said no.
advertisers
Yeah, we go
because we didn't like the products.
Yeah, we didn't like the product.
Like we already have
Yeah.
kind of done that.
But when you have somebody in your pocket deeply ego, I'm not saying that. I'm playing that. If you.
It's a trade-off.
If you like, that's why Charles Barkley.
Yeah,
he said the NBA All-Star game was in Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
he goes, let me get out of this boring city. He said more expletive words.
Yeah,
but he's not above. He's above it.
Yeah,
because he has
TNT needs him, so
TNT
they're not going to let go of him.
Yes, TNT needs. He said some very honest things about the African American community and about basketball
and about the women in Dallas.
Yeah, no, San Antonio.
San Antonio. Excuse me. Sorry, women in Dallas.
Yeah. Very
hate to put that on you.
Yeah. Women in San Antonio about how they're like he scoreboard. Yeah, he knows the numbers.
Well, and Tiger's done worse than this.
Oh, so, way worse.
So this is tame.
That's
for
some things on this
done.
podcast that I go, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're mad at like save it.
Yeah,
save it. I don't. Not that I don't care.
Yep.
I do care, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So you're like Tiger Woods is and then he like offers like an apology, and like the next day. Or he said an apology, and what this women's group community, what the people canceling you want to do is bring shame upon you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. That patient zero, who's offended? Well, all right. Well, who? All right. Well, I'm not offended, but all right. Well, let's go to them, and then it's all the way back to and nobody.
Yeah,
nobody.
Yeah,
but they want to see. They don't like people up there being able to do whatever they want up there. They don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to, and like. I almost even venture to say like, hey, unfortunately, like remember with the tipping, that everybody asks for a tip now. So like it doesn't mean it's like the people that actually need the tips aren't getting them,
right? Because
they're like, oh, we'll just tip for everything, and now
values the tip,
and now nobody tips anymore because like, oh, I'm not doing this. It used to be waitresses were the only ones, that I grew up tipping, and you know that, and I always knew they maybe got $2 an hour. That was it. Mm-hmm. Now it's everybody. So you go, I don't. Maybe they have a shared thing, or maybe it's in their salary, or I don't know. You don't feel as compelled. That's an apology now.
Let's hit this.
Let's get the. All right, you read the cat. This is in the news.
This is the headline.
Okay,
I'm not making this up.
Yep.
Couple celebrates 57 years married despite multiple murder attempts.
Unbelievable, dude.
and you know what?
What?
The picture of them,
It's wild.
I believe it.
I buy all of it. Read like the first paragraph.
Okay.
So this is
Here we go. This is Allentown, PA.
unreal.
They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Okay.
A Pennsylvania couple insists their unusual romance is proof of that, even though one tried to kill the other for real. Their story even caught the attention of Hollywood. It's a love story. This year, Tony and Francis Toto will celebrate 57 years of marriage.
Okay.
Quote, we've been blessed that we had together all these years. There was one time when we had some rough times, Tony Toto described. And then Tony describes those rough times, and he's putting it mildly.
All right, what happened?
In 1983, Tony and Francis Toto had 4 kids and a pizza shop.
Okay.
But he
sounds good.
strayed from the marriage, and she found out.
I hate to see it.
What happened next was like something out of a movie.
Okay.
Hollywood thought so too. Turning Toto's Troubles, I Love You Death, starring Kevin Kline.
Sure.
While everything in the movie is accurate, Francis Toto did hire teenage hitmen to help her try to kill her husband 5 times, including failed attempts to blow up his car and attack him with a baseball bat. One night, Francis is the woman,
Oh my.
put a bottle of sleeping pills in her husband's food, and then the hitmen shot him. Quote,
That's real.
quote, twice, one in the back of my head, and then the bullet went right through my chest, says Tony.
This is the wildest thing I've ever heard.
Because of the pills, Tony's system slowed down, so he was in a daze and says he didn't feel a thing, believing his wife when she told him he has the flu. The one in his head is still there. This is a quote from Francis. I don't think I was thinking straight. It was like a love-hate kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, I think we got it from here. Okay. All right.
Wait, let me finish it. It's 2 sentences.
I'll keep going.
Tony spent 12 days in the hospital. The first thing he did when he was discharged was bail out his wife. And then,
She was in prison. He got out of the hospital. She was in prison.
Yes.
Jail.
quote, and then we both cried and said to each other, from now on, let's talk, let's communicate better. Something that we should have done before. So that's what was missing.
Wow.
Communication is
Dude.
what was missing when
That
you
was it.
shot him.
That's
dude.
all.
5 times. I mean,
5 murder attempts. Yeah, dude. Imagine hiring teenage hitmen.
yeah, money must have been tight. The pizza shop must not have been doing well.
No,
Yeah.
it's because no one was tipping.
I don't know if I got a bullet in me of someone trying to take I don't know if I love Jesus, but I don't know if my forgiveness goes that far.
No. Yeah, I don't think so, man.
Like if Lydia's like late for something and like annoys me, I'm like, all right, we can get through this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Imagine after one attempt,
of trying to
Lydia
kill
tries
you
to kill you
Yeah.
one time,
one time
and then you go back to her
and to say, hey, she might try to kill you again.
as your
And
friend. It's like,
and then-
yeah, no,
Then,
absolutely.
and then 3 more times.
Yeah.
What only? I mean, 70. That's what they say in the Bible. 70. How many times should I forgive?
Mm.
He says 7 times. He goes 70 times 7.
Mm.
But there's something to be said. Like, hey, maybe y'all are better apart. But
57 years later, man, going strong.
57 years married despite multiple murder attempts.
That's
This should
insane.
everybody should take. This should be the positive. Everyone should take a positive from this.
Mhm.
If that is forgivable,
There you go.
I think you can get over anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're overcoming that,
Five murder attempts.
I wonder how much you paid him.
I'm curious too. The movie is I Love You to Death.
I don't want to look it up, but
That's wild, man.
you paid somebody, hey, could you kill my wife for 10 grand? He goes, no.
Wouldn't you be curious how much
You
she
could get-
thought it was worth?
Yeah.
Like, what is a hit on you worth?
And then he goes, well, I always said about
It's kind of like the Jesus thing.
what?
with
Oh,
Judas.
yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Well,
it's
I was
like,
comparing it to like Melinda Gates. Bill Gates is divorced.
right.
And you're like, oh, it must be awesome. She got $70 billion. Or let's say, not 70, let's say 20 or 10. I don't know, I have no idea. But I calculated, I was doing a bit about this. It didn't work. I calculated how many the average life expectancy for a woman, how old she is now, and what she gets like per hour. And like, I would have no self-confidence. Like, dude, somebody's paying you $40,000 a day just to don't come near me.
You'd be out of my life now, please.
It's a wild amount. He's like, dude, I hate my neighbor, or who I don't hate any of my neighbor, but it was like, hey, if it was $20 and they would move, I go, yeah,
Sure.
I'll pay $20 a day. But it was like, if it's like $1,000 a day, I go, oh, I don't hate him that bad.
Yes.
Or $100 a day.
You're putting money on hate. That's wild.
That's how much. He goes, dude, I will pay you $6 billion to get this woman out of my house.
Wow.
I know, dude. That's so much money.
Could have just paid some teenagers like a couple of grand.
Yeah, because she's like 57 or something, and life expectancy is like to 73.
Right.
So you're like, for 15 years, $1 billion.
Hey, bro, you can't just ride this out. Like, come on, man. You're almost there.
Can you just like, dude, she can go live at the Hamptons, and like you could go live in like New York City.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, dude. Like, just stay the course. You're almost done.
Oh, man. I mean, if they survived it, you're almost done. That's hilarious.
57 years, man.
They made it out.
Yeah, sure, it was a little weird, but on the net, it was a positive. It was a positive. You cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.